What is the ego? What are we dealing with?
The ego is your idea of yourself, your identity, what you think you are. Any idea that you ever settle upon is the ego. So it gets this bad rep in our society, but it isn't a bad thing at all. It's a tool, just like social media is a tool. It has the potential to be taken too far, be abused, be used in a way that is destructive, or it can be used as a way that is constructive. And so our ego, our idea of ourself, is merely a tool. I use this example a lot, but I think it's very practical. If you were in a group of people and no one had an idea of themselves, no one had a name, everything just was what was. Everyone went by you and me, which we do anyway, but when it's appropriate, we utilize an idea, a concept, a name in order to differentiate iterations of myself. So if you were in a group of people and no one had a name and you said, "Hey, you," everyone turns around. That's not very convenient. It's like a pain in the ass. You got to run all the way up to the group and like grab your friend and be like, "I mean, you." So we implement names and an ability to differentiate iterations of myself. And so that is kind of the seedling for the ego, in a sense, that then we build on top of that an idea, a story. It's no longer just a tool, just a label. Now everything you do means something about this story. So the story is always being built, maintained, chipped away at, built up again. And it's how much we are invested into that story that kind of dictates our experience, how seriously we take it. But the ego is not a bad thing. I want to make that very clear. It is not a bad thing at all. It is our ticket to experience. Without the ego, we don't have the ability to have an experience in the illusion of division that isn't actually divided. But without that idea of ourself, without the label at least, because the idea isn't necessary in order to have the experience, but it's always right there. So it's very important we use terms like weeding the garden or staying on the ball to recognize that any idea that you settle upon isn't the reality of what you are. And the more you invest into that idea, into the ego, into the story, the more difficult it is to stay in reality, which is just remaining in uncertainty here and now, because there is no certainty. So there is no idea you can settle upon that can adequately define you. It's just that uncertainty makes us uncomfortable. And so we run to the story in order to temporarily convince ourselves that we can avoid the uncertainty and the discomfort that comes with it. There is a temporary cessation with a larger cost being the investment in that story taken as truth, because then every situation you go into, your value is on the line, because our value is dictated based on how we see that story, not even how other people see us, but how we think other people see us, as well as how other people see us, and or how we think of ourselves. And that story just kind of runs amok and is never actually the truth of what you are. So it's using it as a tool, but not taking it so far. But yeah, that's what I got for now on the ego. I'll pass back to Ray.